Greetings, Cleveland, and welcome to Conversations with Cal, the show that initiates engaging conversation. I'm your host, Cornell Calhoun III, and today our conversation centers around the magnificent Paul Duda Gallery. From ink and pen to digital photography, Paul has created a legacy in Northeast Ohio. Paul, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Let's go inside and check it out.
Come on in.
Thank you. So, Paul, when did you discover that you had a passion for art? Well, how old were you?
I was young. So I was very young, and I discovered I wasn't really good at many of the other subjects. And so art was the main thing that I focused on because that was my skill set lied there the best, more so than
anything else.
Yeah.
Did you have a preference when you started?
Well, I started off with drawings, and I started off with I used to do pen and ink drawings.
Oh, wow.
So this is a pen and ink drawing of the Tremont Tower I did probably 40 years ago.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so I gradually moved over to photography, but in the beginning I started off with all drawings of my work. So I have drawings of the skyline and the Terminal Tower and the West Side Market and the old arcade. And
a lot of the iconic things in Cleveland, Ohio. So how was it having all this artistic talent at a time when people were saying a career in art may not be practical?
Well, at first I started off with commercial art because that's exactly what they said. They said it wouldn't be practical to having a career in art. But right when I started out with commercial art, computers came out, and I noticed that all the commercial art jobs were being replaced. So I just, after a couple of years in the commercial art field, I switched over to fine art.
Okay. Now, give me some takeaways from attending the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, was it?
Yeah. Well, I had a couple jobs while I was there, so I had some internships. That was good. And mostly what I learned there, I learned actually in high school. It was kind of review. So I had a very good high school art teacher. So when I went to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh, a lot of it was review.
Now the Art Institute of Pittsburgh is pretty renowned, isn't that right?
At the time, yes, it was. Yeah. Right now they've gone on the business, but
they've gone out of business a long time ago. Okay. All right. Not that long ago. Yeah. But I just know that I did some research, and it was a well-known institute for art.
Yes, it is.
And so tell me how you managed to pick that.
Well, they had recruiters come to the high school with portfolios of work, and they told us about the school and told us about the curriculum and everything. And so I decided to go there. Plus, it was a 2-year course where you could have an accredited degree after 2 years, as opposed to Ohio, which required a 4-year degree for a degree. So I decided after high school, I had enough in school, and I just wanted to do 2 more years. I didn't really want to do 4.
How has technology like visual communications changed your approach to art, would you say?
Well, technology, I try to utilize it as best I can, like Photoshop and things like that. I use that in my art because I have a painting and drawing background. So even when it comes to my photographs, I use some of the same techniques that I would use when I'm painting a picture, because I don't do journalistic photography. I do artistic photography. Okay. So if I see like a garbage can or something I want to remove in Photoshop, I can do that. Whereas in a journalistic photography, you can't change anything in the photograph. It has to be exactly like you took it, because it's news, where I'm not creating news, I'm creating artwork.
Do you think about art 24/7?
I don't.
Is that on purpose, or?
Well, no, it's just you can't think about anything 24/7. But I go through periods of where I'm more creative than other periods, and so that's a lot of the reason why I have a lot of my work in photography, because when I do a painting and I sell that painting, then I have to paint another painting and then another painting, another painting. Meanwhile, I can have some photographic prints on the wall that I could reproduce easier and have these on my wall so my walls aren't empty.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. What attracts you? Like you see multiple objects and people and things. What attracts you enough to wanna take a photo of it? What is that?
It's got
Because you mentioned, because I'm only saying that because you mentioned about a garbage can, and normally a person that's a garbage can, but a garbage can to an artist may hold something within. So what do you think that is for you?
Well, for me, I wanted to portray Cleveland in a positive way because I've been doing this for so long. And, Cleveland is kind of a bullied city.
Yes.
Yeah, it's bullied. And it's, so sometimes I think Clevelanders have a negative viewpoint of their city. So I try to make Cleveland look good and show off the highlights of Cleveland and show the beauty we have around us rather than showing like graffiti and things like that, because we could just look out the window and see, decay and things like that. I'd rather show off the highlights of our city.
I mean, this is like magnificent, Let's find out where the hands-on process is, where you do the work.
Well, sure. After I take the photographs, then we take them to the studio in here where we do the printing, the fine art printing on a large format printer.
Lead the way.
Okay. So in here is where we do the fine art printing. We have a large format printer right here. This is the Epson 9800, and it prints these large format prints with archival inks on canvas and paper so they don't fade. And now, besides doing work for ourselves, we print for a lot of other artists as well. So a lot of artists will bring us their work and we'll print them and make replicas like this.
Oh, that's incredible, Paul.
Yeah, we'll proof their work. Well, sometimes people will bring us their originals. We'll scan them and make replicas like this.
Wow.
So here's the original. Here's the original painting that someone did, and here's the print and proof for them.
How does it make you feel that people give their cherished work for you to,
Well, we've been doing it for 40 years, so it's a long time, and so I'm glad that we have the trust of people who bring us their work. Plus, my business partner, Simon, he's excellent at color correction and color profiling and things like that, so you can really get the colors accurate and get the prints looking just the way people want them to look, rather than sending them off somewhere online.
Is that Simon Pong?
That's correct.
Now, how did that collaboration come to fruition?
Well, we became friends back in 2003, and then by 2005, we became business partners. And he took over the business half of the business, and also he takes care of all the giclée printing.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting. Talk to me about the tower, hold it. Talk to me about the Tower City opportunity that you had. Didn't that kind of really sit you in that?
So I was doing fine art shows on the street. That's how I first started. I was doing like the Lakewood Arts Festival, the Kane Park Arts Festival, and different art festivals around the city. And then when Tower City just remodeled into the Avenue, they wanted to have some artists in there to be in front of the storefronts that they didn't lease out yet. So I was one of the selected artists.
All those store displays, right? Yeah.
The store display. So I had so much business from there that after that, it took me 3 months to fill all the orders. And that's when I opened my first gallery in Brecksville.
And then after that, then you opened the one here?
That was quite a few years later. I opened in 1990 in Brecksville. And then we opened here in 2007.
What did it make you feel to have more orders than you could actually finish in a timely manner?
Well,
that's kind of like incredible.
It feels good. It feels good that, people like your work and respond to it.
Did you have an opportunity to did you need to hire someone else to help you with?
I hired a lot of other people to help me along the way. Throughout the years, I had a lot of different employees helping me. And we still have Steve, who works with us downstairs doing the picture framing. And Simon does all the printing, and then I'll do the artwork for the photography and things like that.
Paul, what led you to expand from pink and ink into painting and abstract and eventually digital photography?
Well, just the time-consuming nature of doing pen and ink, it took such a long time to do each and every drawing that I wanted to expand into different things that just interested me. And I found that what interested me, people resonated with. So I found a ready market for the things that I like to do.
And what drew you to ZK? Is it ZK printing? G-clay printing.
Well, G-clay printing, what's important about G-clay printing is really, it's another way of saying archival inkjet. So the reason why we use this G-clay printer or this Epson 9800 printer is because it's archival inks. It's like paint on pigment. It's like pigment on a substrate, so it won't fade. And when you sell a piece of artwork to someone, you don't want it to fade. So all the work that comes out of that printer is light fast up to over 100 years before you even see any signs of fading.
Oh, wow. And how did you find out about this process?
Just do a lot of research.
Okay.
Yeah, in the beginning, the printers had dye-based ink and they would fade within 6 months. But then way back in the late 90s, they came out with printers with pigmented inks that don't fade because they're like paint.
And I could look at a painting and tell whether it was G-clay or whether it was just a regular.
Not at first.
Not at first. Okay.
You'd know after 6 months it started fading.
And I take it back to the art gallery.
Right. Yeah. So
okay.
These are light fast and they won't fade. That's the difference. So they could be even in the sun. They don't fade. But everything fades over time.
Right.
But these are tested to last under normal indoor viewing conditions up to 100 years before you'd see any signs of fading.
Wow, that's incredible. Okay. Well, let's move to the main gallery and see what you got there.
Okay.
Okay. So, Paul, what role does the Tremont community play within the gallery?
Well, Tremont's been very supportive of the gallery and then brought a lot of business in. So a lot of new homes coming around here and a lot of customers coming from the area.
Do you have a lot of events, art events in Tremont that you participate in? Or
Well, there's the Art Walk on the second Friday of every month.
Okay.
And so we participate in that. And then there's the Taste of Tremont, which is once a year, which we just had, which was always also a big event. It brings a lot of people to the area. And that brings a lot of people into the gallery.
So normally when you have those events, you open the gallery up?
Absolutely. Yeah, the gallery's open. And what's another good thing about Tremont is it's centrally located in Cleveland. So people come from the west side, the east side, the south side, and it's easy to get here from every part of town.
So you've gotten a lot of favorable reviews from the residents of Tremont?
Yeah, we have. and beyond.
And beyond, good.
Yeah, people come from different parts of town to come downtown to Tremont. It's more centrally located than the Brecksville location.
Okay, so how do you balance being an artist, running the gallery, and personal life? Is that difficult?
Well, it's, without a business partner, it would be impossible. But with my business partner, Simon, he makes it all possible because he really runs everything from behind the scenes. And he runs the gallery, all the day-to-day operations of the gallery, all the financial parts. And things like
that. Simon's the big man in town.
Simon is absolutely the big man in town. Yeah.
So tell me this. In terms of the gallery and Cleveland, what impact do you want the gallery to have on our city? Because I know I can tell you love the city of Cleveland as I do, but what impact do you want Paul Duda Gallery to have on the city?
I want the gallery to have a positive impact on the people that live in Cleveland, to view their city in a positive way. So when they come in here, they look around and see that we actually live in a beautiful city, because the media tries to make Cleveland as being, someplace undesirable to live. but I think it's a really nice place to live, and I want to showcase that in the gallery.
What advice would you give to a young artist just starting out in Cleveland?
That's a hard thing to say because right now, with demographics and everything, right now, my true advice to young artists is to get a job that has healthcare and do art as an avocation. Some job that offers health insurance and do your art as an avocation, because you don't want to take your passion and turn it into your profession and then have your passion be your source of anxiety. Like if you don't sell that painting by next month, you can't pay you can't pay your rent. So I usually, if someone comes and asks me for advice, I tell them to do what they're good at, what their skill set is, and use their art as an avocation and keep it as a passion in their lives.
What's the best advice that someone's given you, maybe a mentor or someone, a teacher, regarding art, would you say?
Well, I didn't really feel like I had a lot of mentors coming up. And so being an artist is sort of like you're like the salmon swimming upstream. You have to fight against everybody telling you not to do it, telling you it's a bad idea, telling you that you're not going to make it, telling you to get a job with healthcare. And so you have all those hurdles to overcome. So you really have to just have a mindset that you know that your work is going to sell, and just proceed through all the difficult, because there really aren't, I didn't really have a lot of mentors coming up as far as art goes.
Okay, right. Let's show me another area that you have in this gallery.
Sure. Let's look at this framing section back here.
Oh, okay.
And so back here we have the framing section, and this is a collection of frames from Larson Jewell. It's a major manufacturer of picture frame materials. And so we could frame our own work, or we could frame pieces that people bring into the gallery. So here we'd pick out, for example, I'd pick out maybe a couple mats that might look good on this.
In terms of color, or?
Yeah, in terms of color, to mat it. And then pick out a frame and, offer this to the client like this.
So can you get those frames come in all different colors?
Yeah, all different colors, on the mats and all different colors. And we frame things besides my own work. We do picture framing here as another business, as part of the gallery's business.
I heard you frame other people's work from all over the country.
Yeah, we do.
That is incredible.
Yeah, we do.
So how long would it take to frame a picture like this?
Well, we have to. Everything's done by hand, so we have to order the materials in, and usually it takes about 2 weeks to get all the materials in, and then to have someone to handcraft the frame for this particular picture.
And then once that they've handcrafted the frame, how long will it take for that person to put the photograph together?
Well, just getting all the materials and everything, we usually allow ourselves 2 weeks before we tell the customer that it would be ready for them.
And what would be the largest picture that you could frame?
Well, we can frame very large pictures, but glass only comes so large, only comes 40 inches by 60 inches. So sometimes we have to use what's called floater frames. I have those here on the other side. Like we're using canvases. I have what's called a floater frame. And this floater frame would just go around the canvas with no glass.
Oh, okay.
Like this. See, the frame would go around.
Okay. That looks good.
Yeah, so it dresses it up. Not that the canvas needs to have a frame, but you could have one on there if you wanted to have it look more formal.
So would you say, and I'm a novice, so I don't know, but would you say very few photographers frame their own work, or no?
I have no idea really.
Okay.
How many? I have a feeling that a lot of photographers do frame their own work.
Okay.
But I'm not quite sure about that.
I only ask because a lot of times I've been told to stay in my lane. I can do one thing. Yeah. So I was just wondering.
A lot of work for other photographers, like we print their work because we have that large format printer the large Epson printer that can print, and it's not cost effective to have it if you're just doing a few prints. So we do a large volume of prints. So it makes sense for us to have one. And so that's why we print for a lot of other artists as well, besides our own work.
In terms of Cleveland, what subject would you say you get asked for in terms of photography, would you say?
Well, since I really focus on Cleveland landmarks, that's mainly what I get asked.
Okay, so the stadium, the bridge, the memorial bridge, those kind of things.
People have to see what it is I have first, and then they get the idea. Because
Okay.
they don't have the idea yet, but when they see it,
So you get inquiries, and then people just come out and see what you have in store. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense.
yeah,
Okay, all right. Well, at least I know how to frame a little bit.
yeah. So the picture framing is a time-consuming job, and it's all custom. So it takes time to handcraft all the custom frames for all the pictures in the gallery.
Paul, what's next for the Paul Duda Gallery? What you got going on?
That's a good question. I'm working on some new imagery. I just bought a new lens, so I want to do some new night shots. And they're building new buildings, so you always have to keep up with keeping the skyline looking fresh.
Right.
You know, because I just built the Sherwin-Williams building, and I just finished the skyline with that building in it. But I need to get it from different angles so my work doesn't look outdated.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks for letting me come to your studio, man. I love it.
Oh, you're welcome.
I learned so much. From pen and ink, drawings to print, across the country and the world, Paul Duda has created more than just a gallery. He has created a legacy that resonates through Northeast Ohio and beyond. I'm Cornell Calhoun III for Conversations with Cal. And remember, if you don't like what's being said, change the conversation.